Hey guys, it's Levins here, and I am here to teach you about subtraction today. So some of you might be like, oh, Levins, I know subtraction. I can do subtraction in my sleep. Maybe, but it never hurts to refresh your memory and practice those skills so that way you don't lose them. So this week we are going to be working, like I said, with subtraction. And subtraction is when you take a big number and you break it down into a smaller number. So for example, if I have all of these things in my hands and I subtract, I'm just going to throw them away. I subtracted all of those things from my hands, right? And now my hands are empty. So we are going to work on subtracting with numbers. And when we subtract with numbers, we take a problem or a algorithm and we work through it to solve it. And we solve it using place values. And we always start with the smallest place value first. So for example, if I have the number 321 minus 127, okay, this is my algorithm. This is my standard algorithm for solving a problem. I want to show you how you can take the place value chart and solve this problem in a little bit different way. Okay, so I'm going to start out with 3 dots in my hundreds place, 2 dots in my tens, and 1 dot in my ones. Okay, you'll notice that in our original problem here, there are 3 hundreds, 2 tens, and 1 1. Okay, now I have to subtract. So just down below, kind of small, I'm going to write what exactly I'm taking away from each place value. Now, in this place value, it wants me to take away 7. And you'll notice I only have 1 dot there. So if I only have 1 dot in my 7's place, or in my 1's place, I can't take away 7 because I don't know, like I'm holding nothing right now, and I can't take away anything if I'm not holding anything, right? So in order to take away 7, I have to go next door to the tens place. And now you'll probably remember this from when you were in like first, second, or third grade, how you take that 10 and you can break it down. So 10 tens, so I'm going to cross out one of these tens. 10 tens is actually the same as 10 ones. So I'm going to put 10 ones over here in my ones place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that I have 10, I should be able to take away 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So after I take away the 7 from my ones place, I am left with 4. Okay, so I took away my 7. Now I go to my tens place. In my tens place, I'm supposed to take away 2, but there's only 1. I can't take away 2 things if I only have 1. So I have to again go next door to my neighbor, because I have one, and say, excuse me, neighbor, can I have one of your hundreds so I can make 10 tens? So we're going to take that 100 and we are going to break it down into 10 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I have 10 tens plus the 1 10 that I still had there. Okay, now I should be able to take away 2 tens. 1, 2. I took away those 2 tens, so I scribble that out. And now I count what I have left over that's not crossed out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 left over in my tens place. Now, since I borrowed 1 from these hundreds, I should have crossed that 100 out when I borrowed it, but I forgot. So sorry. So now I had already borrowed 1 of these hundreds and broke it down into 10 tens. So I have 2 hundreds left here, and I have to take away 1. Now I have to stop myself and think, can I do that? Can I take away 1 thing from 2? Well, if I'm holding up 2 fingers and I put down 1 of them, I can still have a finger left. So I can take away 1 from there, and then I just scribble it out so I know I'm done with it. And that leaves me with 1 in my hundreds place. Now, if I'm going to relate what we did right here to this standard algorithm, when I tried to take away 7 from my ones place, I couldn't do it. So I had to go next door to my neighbor. And when I went to my neighbor gave me 1 of their tens. So they went from 2 tens to 1 10. And when they gave me that 10, I added that 10 they gave me to the ones I already have. And that gave me 11. So then when I subtract 11 minus 7, I've been practicing my addition and subtraction facts. So I know that 11 minus 7 is 4. And then I go to my tens place. I have 1 in my tens place, and I have to take away 2. I can't do that. Just like we couldn't do that on our place value chart, we also can't do it on the tens place here. So we have to, again, go to our neighbor, and our 100 is going to give one of its hundreds up and go down to 2. And that 100 is going to come next door and is going to be added. So that 100, is going to become 10 tens. And those 10 tens get added to the tens we already have. So we had 1 left, so now we have 11. We take those 11 tens and subtract 2 tens. That leaves us with 9 tens, which is the same answer we got when we used our place value chart. And then I go to my hundreds place. I have 2 hundreds. I'm taking away 1. I can do that. 2 minus 1 is 1, and that leaves me with 194. Okay? All right. Let's do another one of those real quick. And this time, instead of using the dots on the place value chart, I'm just going to write my numbers on the place value chart to help me line them up. So this time, we're going to do 573 minus 496. Okay? So again, notice that my top number is 573 is larger or greater than my bottom number, which is 496. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do is look at my smallest place value, which is the ones, and I'm going to subtract the ones first. I have 3 in my top number, and I'm taking away 6. If I only have 3 things, I can't take away 6. Okay? So I have to go next door to my neighbor and borrow from my neighbor because my neighbor has 7 tens. So I can take one of those tens, leave them with 6, and I can take one of those tens and add it to the ones that I have. 10 plus 3 is 13. So that's where I'm getting that 13. Now I have 13 minus 6 is 7. Again, I've been practicing my facts, so I've been getting better and faster at these facts. And I go to my tens place. 6 tens minus 9 tens. I don't have enough, so I go next door to my neighbor, the hundreds place, because I know that 100 equals 10 tens, right? So my neighbor is going to give me one of their hundreds, and I'm going to break that down into 10 tens. So I have 6 tens right now, and I'm going to add the 10 tens to my 6 tens. And if you think about it, 10 plus 6 equals 16. So that's where this number comes from. Okay, 16 minus 9 is 7. 4 minus 4 is 0. So my final answer here is 77. Okay, now you might be all finished with your problem, and you might think to yourself, how do I know I'm right? Levins, how do I have any idea if I am correct? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this number here, my smaller number of the subtraction problem, the 496, and I'm going to add 77 to the 496. This is an easy way to check your problems because if I'm correct, my answer should be 573, which was the number that we started with. So let's see if I was correct. 6 plus 7 is 13. I write the 3. I regroup my 1 to the tens place. 1 plus 9 plus 7. Well, 1 plus 9 is 10. That's easy. If I make a 10, then I know that this is 10 plus 7. That's 17, which is a 2-digit number. So I write down the 7 and I carry the 1 to the hundreds. 1 plus 4 is 5. So my numbers, if I do my addition and my subtraction correctly, should be the same. 496 plus 77 equals 573. 573 minus 496 equals 77. Subtraction and addition are kind of like brother and sister, right? They like really work together. They're kind of like the opposite of each other, right? I shouldn't say brother and sister because that probably doesn't really work, but they're the opposite, right? So if addition, if you can solve an addition problem, you can use those skills to help you solve the subtraction problem. And then you can also use subtraction to check your addition and addition to check your subtraction. I hope this video helps. Let me know if you have any questions or let your teacher know. And I hope that you guys are having a great week. Stay rad. Keep working hard. We're proud of you. Bye, guys.